Jet fans, you're watching the Frankie from Flatbush show on FSPN. This is FSPN. Remember they used to do that for CNN? We're sponsored by Fuck the Refs Coffee. And when I say sponsored by, I mean they don't give us any money and I just like their coffee. Now, what's going on in Jetsland? Well, we got a game tomorrow. And the big story in Jetsland really has to do with Rich Samini. We did a video about it yesterday, and his anonymous reporting. What people, basically what's happening is that all the media members are coming to Rich Samini's defense against Aaron Glenn, which is expected. They all stick together like a bunch of retarded girls in a clique in high school, and so they're all defending him and saying, "Oh, Rich Samini just doing his job, just doing his job." No, it's not Rich Samini's job to put out injury reports for the Jets based on anonymous sources. That's not Rich's job at all. And so he's not doing his job. He's being a dick. let's be honest. So, but of course, all the media people stick together because they know if you challenge their authority, they are in trouble. It's an existential threat for them because the fact of the matter is, in the modern era, we really don't have a great need for them. If you combine all of the media that the Jets actually put out on their own and combine that with the indie creators like yours truly and all the real ones like Green Bean and Jets Media and Jet Central and all the other ones, you have all the content you need. I've been thinking about this a little bit. What is the point of having these people? I mean, the only reason that you have Rich Samini or Dick or Connor Hughes or Zach Rosenblather, the only reason that they're there and that they're given insider status is because they work for an organization that does a lot of that has a lot of people digesting their content. So ESPN is there, The Athletic is there, SNY is there, and the way the NFL views it is, well, all these media outlets need to have content, and the more content we feed them, then the more our league is going to grow. It's really the only reason they're there. It's not really a question of getting the information like in the old days, like getting the information out to people. We can get that information straight from the Jets. We could watch a press conference, for example, you could have a press conference. Aaron Glenn comes. He gives the injury update, his normal one when he's not upset with Rich Samini, and then he could give his opening statement. And for questions, they could, the Jets staff could just put out a mailbag type of tweet. Jets mailbag, send in your questions for Coach Glenn, and then they could collaborate the 10 most liked or the 10 that are the most similar, and just crowdsource it. And you could do a press conference that way. You have Eric Allen, there, ask the questions, from Twitter, and basically you'd get the same thing. So it's not really necessary. It's not like these people are geniuses and doing Woodward and Bernstein type stuff like Gary Myers was trying to gaslight us into believing, and I was taking him to task on X. You should follow me on X, by the way, at Flatbush Frankie, so you can see when I get into it with these people. Sometimes it's pretty funny to hear what they say, these twisted logic that they use. But they don't. And I was thinking to myself, why don't they do that? And the reason is because you want ESPN there, and you want The Athletic there, and you want SNY there, and you want all of these, the AP and all the organizations that people have grown accustomed to. We've grown accustomed to ESPN from the old days when it was great. It's not great anymore, but nonetheless, there's still a lot of people who take in the content of ESPN and SNY and all these people, and that's why they're there. So anyway, that's been amusing. But on to the game. The Jets will be at the Patriots. The Patriots will be wearing their rivalry uniform, it's called. Theirs is called the Nor'easter or something like that. It looks pretty cool. So they'll have a different uniform. For us, Azareye'h Thomas out, concussion. Garrett Wilson out with a knee. Harrison Phillips returned to practice today, on a limited basis. And Will McDonald returned yesterday with his quad. Braden McGregor's been limited all week. Not that makes a big difference. Khalil Herbert also full, so that's good. He's part of our return team, along with Kene, who, by the way, won Special Teams Player of the Week. So congratulations, Kene Nwangu, good job. There's another guy who needs another contract. Mr. Muji, I know he gets hurt a lot, but man, is he good at returning kicks. Xavier Newman returned to practice, so there won't be a call-up of Cole Laval this week as there was last week. It seems like. And Kiko Mauegoa back to practice, full practice, no game status, so Kiko will be back. So Kiko's somebody we should keep an eye on. And again, we're in evaluation time. Let's keep an eye on our young people. Let's keep an eye on our wide receivers. So Garrett Wilson being out is an opportunity for some of these new guys, Mitchie and Mechie. You know, how good are Mitchie and Mechie? I don't know. Mechie looked pretty good out there. He didn't have much production, but that's not his fault. But moving around, he looked pretty good out there, I thought. It looked pretty quick. You know, what more can you? I mean, he caught the one pass we threw to him. What do you want him to do? So that's good. But Mitchie and Mechie, what can they do? You know, let's see some of these defenders. Can Malachi Moore keep stacking nice games? That would be nice. So forth and so on. The other thing here, a couple of things, in case you don't know what the Patriots have been up to. Their defense is not good this year so far. And you've seen Coach Variable, you know, getting rid of guys he doesn't want or need on this team, Keon White, Kyle Duggar, other people who are good in the other systems. He's getting rid of those people, bringing in his own people. So they're not good right now, but in a year or two, they sure will be. And but right now they're not. So one of the things I've noticed, having charted all of Justin Fields and Tyrod's passes all year, the times when Fields has been good, few though they have been against bad defenses. So can he keep that trend up? You might see a good game from Justin. He has, you know, he's basically performed up to or down to the level of the defense, if you think about it this year. Steelers normally do have a good defense. They have not had one, so at least so far this year, and we're not that game anyway. So, but like, you know, when when the defense is mid, he plays mid. When the defense is bad, he plays really good, and so that's the way it's kind of been. That's, by the way, that's kind of the life of a backup if you think about it. I think Fields is a perfectly good backup. So we might have, in other words, a barn burner on our hands. Maybe. I mean, you never know with these football games, but. The other thing is, on the offensive side, they have progressed a lot. This is why they're winning games and why they're 8-2. It's mostly Drake May. Drake May has developed. Some people would say he's always been like this, but as far as the national narrative, he has developed a lot quicker than some thought possible. Some thought he was going to, go up a little bit, but he has taken off like a skyrocket. And so now they have their quarterback, and they have Steph Diggs, and they have Pop Douglas, and they got Boutte, but Boutte's out this game. Mac Hollins. They got a bunch of receivers. They got Hunter Henry, and they got Travion Henderson out of Ohio State. Ramondre Stevenson's out for this game, but we'll get a big dosing of Travion Henderson. Very, very good. Very, very fast. So their offense has taken off. Their offensive line needs a couple of pieces still, but Will Campbell's been excellent, as I told you he would be. At tackle, not at guard, Mr. Rogers. So their offense has been much better, and that's what they've been doing. And although May's been taking a bunch of sacks, so let's see if we can get some sacks. Will McDonald's been on a heater a little bit here. Can he add to those totals? Against an offensive line that has some good pieces, has old friend Morgan Moses. Love Morgan, of course, and he's been playing okay for them. But Will Campbell's been very good on the left side, and then they have Michael Wainu, and he's always solid. And then they just need a couple more pieces on the O-line, and they're going to be fantastic going forward. But can we take advantage of that? Sack-a-lack under Drake May. That's basically been his only bugaboo this year. So that's remains to be seen. But we could have a barn burner where they're killing our defense and we're beating up on their defense. Could be an interesting game. Of course, it'll probably be just the opposite. So that's a little bit of a game preview for the Patriots. But again, we're in this kind of season where, hey, if we play well and win, then, hey, look at our players playing good. We win. Yay. And if we lose, then we say, hey, we improved our draft stock. So, actually, it's hard for us to lose. Even when we lose, we kind of win when you're in a season like this. It's kind of funny. But the Jets also signed defensive back Trey Brown, and we released JT Woods in case you missed that. We'll see who gets called up for this game from the practice squad. Probably not Cole Laval, but we'll probably have one or two. And that's really where we stand. The whole thing in Jetland has been about this Ask Rich thing that we talked about yesterday. Let me just quickly check to see if there's been any late breaking news from the Jet beat writers. No. Harrison Phillips. Harrison Phillips has a foot injury and he's listed as questionable. He returned to practice. If he's out again, if he's out, that's big. We're short on defensive tackles. That's something we got to shore up in the offseason for sure. But no other news in Jetland that I can see. So that's what we got going on a Wednesday. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. Why not subscribe to the channel? Why not give it a thumbs up? Why not? When you give it a thumbs up, it turns into a little football. Check it out. It's pretty cool. And also consider subscribing to the members area. They get exclusive information, breakdowns, drive chart info. They get all the stuff. Quarterback ratings, including the college quarterback ratings. The channel members get all that. Channel members get everything. Okay? Just saying. It's like I'm not even, sure. If they ask me for my firstborn child, I'd probably have to give it to them. I don't know. Anyway, see you later.